Hello, thanks for checking out the video. I've had trouble with my Dell Latitude 5480 not wanting to completely charge the battery. I've done searches to try to find out what the issue was. Of course, one of the first things I thought would be just replace the battery. And so I replaced the battery. I used to think, well, I had to have a Dell battery, but I don't really feel that way anymore, because a lot of this off-brand stuff is pretty good. And so I bought a battery, took a picture similar to this, and made sure that the type was right. And so I sent that to the seller, and I bought a battery for it and put a battery in it. That still didn't fix my charging issue. It still didn't want a full charge. It would only want to charge up to 88% and less, and that is the most I could get it to charge right there. Okay, so the battery didn't fix it, so I done some more searches. They said reset the BIOS, somebody said. And so I took the cover off of the laptop, unhooked the CMOS battery, unhooked the battery, and I held the power button down and done what I thought would reset the BIOS, trying to drain all the power out of it. And rebooted it and tried it again. It still would not charge my battery 100%. And so somebody said update the BIOS. Sometimes that'll fix things such as charging problems and such. So I went and found this great video, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description, of how to update the BIOS. I went to Dell.com and I found the update for the BIOS and put it on a jump drive and had the firmware to update the BIOS, and it still would not charge my battery 100%. And so I went to my BIOS settings, and this is where I'm at. I finally decided that this is what the factory settings was on the primary battery charge configuration. Adaptive, and 50 here for a custom charge start, but that's not on custom, so I don't think this has anything to do with it unless you actually set it on customs. I've had to kind of learn this as I go, but it was on adaptive, and my white light would be on, and I got tired of seeing that white light. I'm like, it should be charged, and it was staying on, even with my new battery. I thought, boy, I don't like that. I need to find a way to get that thing to stop charging. I'd like to have it 100%, close there. My other laptops, my Dell E6 540, it's set up just like this, and it comes up to close to, 100% full charge. And it still shows charging, but none of my charge lights is on. It must be just a trickle charge, and it's working the way it should. But the white light up in the front corner there was staying on, and that was bothering me. I just didn't like it. And I thought, well, what's it doing to my battery? Why does it keep trying to drive it when it's not taking any more charge? Some kind of setting is off. Something has happened. I still don't know to this day what happened. Okay, but here's what I've decided to do. As I've studied this and decided, hey, if you come down here and choose, let's go over here first. This was the factory settings. I'll show you this here. This here is the factory settings here. Maybe you can see them a little clearer here. If you come down and choose custom, what I think this does is it lets the human in charge. It tells the human to tell the firmware, hey, we want you to start charging at 50. We want you to stop charging at 90. Some people just said raise this up to 100. I tried that. It still would not charge my battery, and this is the most right here that I could get it up to, the very most. Right here, 88%. And so what I've decided to do was come down here and choose custom. Okay. And so I choose custom, and that would actually make it stop charging when it come up to 80%. And that's what I'm setting on right now. And as you can see right here, I'm at 88%, and I'm not charging, and so my charge light is not on. And so I've decided, okay, if I can just get it to start charging and stop charging and the light go off, I can deal with the 12% on top. I think I can do without that if everything else works the way I think it should, and the white light's not staring at me. I think I can deal with that. So that's the way I chose to go. Okay, but in the process of time, I'd run it down to 80, and I would charge it back up. But after I had this setting, customs, and 50, I run it down to 80, and I, drained the battery to 80%, and I plugged the AC cord back in, and it wouldn't charge, and that kind of threw me for a minute. And then I thought about it; it all made sense. Well, the reason why it wouldn't, because I told it to start, which was already a default setting, start charging at 50 and stop at 90. So I said, well, how can I fix this? This is what I need to do. So I've eventually made this setting right here. And this is what I ended up with. So I changed this to 85 and 90. Okay, so what this is doing, and I'm going to bring this back up again. So what this is doing, hopefully I can get this down lower where you can see both of them. What this is doing is, because see, if it was been down to 50, let me take you back here just for a moment. If it had been down to 50, what would have happened was, if I was using my laptop and, taking away from my desk and it drained the battery down to like 55 or 60, and I plug it in, it still didn't charge, I could easily take it out of the house and have a 50% charged battery. And I wouldn't want that. If I take it to my brother's house or something, I want it to be full charged. If I take it out to Bible study, I want it to be close to full charged. And so this is what I decided to do. Okay, let me bring this back up again. So right now, even though this says 90, the most it's going to reach is 88%. But you can see here it quit charging, not charging. And at that point, my white charge light there in the front corner of the laptop goes out. Okay, and I'm not going to be able to show you this, because I'm not going to drain it, spend that kind of time. But when it goes down to 85 or 84, thereabouts, it's going to kick back on and start charging again to come back up. So that way there, worst case scenario, I'll leave with an 85% charged battery, and that won't be bad on a new battery. So that's the issue I had and how I decided to deal with it. As long as it's not shining, the charge light's shining in my face, and it's working, it's charging, and it's shutting off, I can live with it. And that's how I dealt with it. You can let me know what you think in the comments. You might have some different ideas about it, some things I did wrong, some things I didn't know. I'll try to leave that guy's video that shows you how to update your BIOS. He did a very good job with his YouTube videos, so I'll try to leave a link to that in my description. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and thanks for stopping in. And we welcome you back to the channel there anytime.